All right, Joe, so let's talk about this. Terri Harper versus Caroline Dubois. The question that I asked was, does Terri Harper have enough to keep off Caroline Dubois? I watched her hit the bits. I watched her open workout session. I can feel when a fighter is on par. I just don't think Terri Harper has enough. I like Terri Harper as a fighter. Terri Harper, I watch how she move, and she'll jab and move and move, and of course it's different when you have a live opponent in front of you. One of the things I was looking for in her movement was the jab, double, triple, moving your head while you jab, staying off the center line. I believe she's going to move a lot in this fight. She's going to have to. I don't think, honestly, that she has enough firepower, the right type of punch, the punch selection, and punching off the movement. I don't really think she has enough. I see her moving, and it seems like that's what they're going to try to do. Move more, throw less. Try to be accurate, but it would help her if she had like lightning speed, hand speed, or so she doesn't have, she's a good fighter, but the things that I feel like she'd have to do to beat Dubois, I just don't think she has the firepower. I just don't think she has everything that she needs to beat Dubois. I think Dubois has everything she needs to beat her, though. And then when she referenced her as a bully, Dubois challenged that by saying, I stepped up to the woman that's the biggest in our division. She went all the way up to 154 pounds and fought. She's 5 years older than me, right? She's 5'10", right? And yeah, bullies like to pick on the weaker, the smaller, or too old, type of thing. I believe that is because she said that because how Caroline Dubois kept walking up in her face and pressing her. And that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of intimidation. She didn't want to engage in anything, which I understand that you want to focus on the fight. But, I don't think Caroline Dubois was trying to get the fight canceled. But when somebody walk up in your face like that, either you shove them off, you throw up, you something. I mean, you at least give it back to them. That's just not who she is. You understand what I'm saying? And Terri Harper. So I believe you should keep your hands to yourself, stay out of people's faces. I do believe that. But Dubois is doing that to show her. Let me see if I can intimidate her. Let me show her. I'm a punk her. I am going to bully her. I'm going to get up in her face. Now, I'm only going to bully her because she's allowing me to. So somebody walking up in your face, what you going to do? What's going to happen? Like I've seen a couple of times she walked up in Terri Harper's face. Yeah, man. The fight's only canceled if you break somebody's jaw, they get injured or something, or somebody decide to sue you because you swung on them like, Lomachenko did that when he got shoved by Devin Haney. So basically, Lomachenko's position was, so this don't happen again, right? I'm going to sue you. And he's, I don't know what happened with that lawsuit or whatever, but $150,000 for a shove, man. But I do say, I do believe fighters should keep their hands to themselves. You can't walk up in my face. I will knock your ass out. So that's why I don't understand when fighters do that shit and they getting up in the face and get snuck. Nah. You know what's good for you. Stay wherever you are. We're not doing that. Even at the face-off. We've seen face-offs where they have to have people in between the fighters or they just skip the face-off because of the tension. Yeah, I'd be one of those. Like, you can't get in my face. I don't want to smell your fucking ass breath. I don't want to touch you. I don't want your forehead on. Nah. That's not warrior shit. That's some suspect shit. And that's like, nah. I'll jack your jaw. Like, we're not playing that shit. We're not playing that. When I watch her, I'm saying, You know, she wouldn't even look in the eye. She was kind of just trying to avoid that all. And I feel like that was kind of like a cry for, hey, look, y'all, keep your fight over there. Stop letting her walk up on me like that. That's what that felt like to me. So her calling her a bully, I guess he was hoping that would cause her to stop. That right there, you know, it would be one thing if Caroline Dubois had a bunch of mouth but couldn't fight. The chick can fight. I think she's just going to be too much for Terri Harper. I think Terri Harper's going to try. She started feeling those punches, especially with the accuracy, man. And she starts getting hit clean. And I just don't think Terri Harper is going to have enough. I think she's going to pick her apart, start to break her down. And Terry's going to try to stay on the outside. And she's going to try to fight the spurts. That's what I believe she's going to try to do. And looking at her in the open workout, even if they don't want to show all their stuff, cool. But the thing is, think about it. Double, triple jabs, keeping your head off that center line, right? Right? You know, it's like she's trying to parry and move. I'm seeing her doing more defensive things, which they could have just been working on that at that point. Because the video I saw was like maybe 5 or 6 minutes long. And I did see more than that. But what I'm looking at is how consistent they were with that. And when she was throwing back, everything was with the 1-2. Smart in the sense that she's trying to keep it basic, keep it long, right? Jab, right hand. Jab, right hand. She's trying to keep it long. But you're not going to keep Caroline Dubois off you with just a jab and a straight. You got to put some hurt on her. You got to give her, she has to get hit with shots that she can't get away from. She has to be able to, she has to know, like, no, you're in a fight. I don't think Terri Harper is going to have enough. You never know come fight night. She's going to have to pull out something different from what we've seen. And, you know, her being a champion, it's not to take anything away from her, but she's never fought anybody like Caroline. Well, she's similar in Baumgartner. And we see how that happened. She got hit with a hard shot and she turned around and quit. This is the point what I'm saying. Caroline is calculated, but she also is relentless. You know what I'm saying? And she can bang and she got fast hands too. I think that when Caroline starts to connect on her, I think it's going to look a lot like Jermell Charlo versus Canelo. And I feel like she might either get stopped or the ref is going to stop it. If it goes the distance, either one or two things I see happening. It's a boring fight because she's on the back foot all night, not really engaging, and Caroline is having trouble catching up to her. Or she's gonna get on the back foot, get tired. Caroline's gonna keep that pressure on her and chop her down and get out of there. Now, if it goes the distance, what I'm saying, I don't see this being a back and forth. I just don't. I don't think Terri will be able to take those bombs from Caroline. And if Caroline Dubois is on point, okay, I have to say this because every fight, each fight is a fight by fight basis. But if Caroline is on point, Harper don't have much of a chance. Like, she's going to get punished. And the thing about Terri Harper, what I liked now when I saw, because she's throwing it, she's moving though. But Caroline's going to be in front of her. She's going to jab with it. She's going to move and, time and get down low and come up and, throw those bombs and hooks to keep her in the middle, push her where she wants to go and just avoid getting tied up. Because if she gets defensive to the point where she's tying up a lot and she's moving a lot, the referee might take points away. So she's going to have to engage. That's the point what I'm saying. Now, the thing is, with only 2 rounds, 2 minutes per round, she might be able to pull off the movement, but I don't see her being so accurate, so sharp and fast that Caroline just can't get past her jab. But that's all I saw her doing. Basically, just jab, jab, straight, move some more, move a lot more, jab, move some more, jab, move some more, jab, straight. And I think that the idea is to not burn herself out, give angles, and move to keep Caroline on the end of her reach. which is what she needs to do. But she's going to have to land punches. Like, she's going to have Caroline head snapping back. The judges have to see that. She can't just touch her. And it's not like all those punches are going to land. She's going to throw. And Caroline, like I said, look, Caroline is different. And the difference, like I said, even if you compare her to Alicia Baumgartner, is that Alicia Baumgartner is not a killer. Alicia Baumgartner is more like a sniper. She waits, she'll strike, you know, and she's not relentless with her combinations and, you know, her punches. Baumgartner has shown she don't have the gas tank to throw a lot of punches, to like throw it in volume. We see that Caroline can. We see that she can. I don't see her fighting stupidly, just coming in with careless pressure, more like controlled, smart pressure, thinking, getting in, jabbing with her, like I said, you know, going to the body. And really, I feel like she should punish Terri Harper. Stylistically, I just think that type of aggression is always going to give Terri Harper problems. Because Terri Harper is a boxer that needs to think, that needs space and distance, and have to be able to operate from that comfort zone of being on the outside. Once you get in, you know, I don't think she really knows what to do. You know, I like Sky Nicholson as a fighter. And one thing with Sky Nicholson is she likes to throw the quick punches. She gets comfortable with the hands down, and she leans, you know, forward a lot. One thing that I saw with Sky too, even before the loss, but she was able to get away with it in other fights. Sky Nicholson, she'll throw the 1-2 quick. You know, she likes to, but when she throws her hooks, left or right hand, she wings them. She does it all. She wing those shots, and I'm always like, damn, Sky, you got to shorten that shit. You know, she don't pow pow. You know, she don't throw them shits here. She like slap with them shits, and that's what happens. The difference when you fight somebody, because those punches you can telegraph. So when you fight somebody that's sharp, that understands all of that, you got to straighten that up. You know, even when she throw them underhanded, you know, she kind of somewhat, you know how Muhammad Ali would throw his punches a lot of times, and he would like kind of pull him under, you know, but he was so quick he could get it in. And plus Ali knew how to get his head out the way, and he worked off the jab all the time. But when he threw those punches, you know, and that's pretty much when he got older, you know, but how he always had that way of like, he kind of like slap up, he opens up, but he'll open up and then come over, like he'll chop with it, he chop with his shots. She throws her punch almost in a chopping fashion, only she winged those punches. And that's how she lost that last fight. The fight before the last that she lost, when she lost her time. That's how she lost it, if you look at it. She's being out quick, like she just didn't look like herself that night, period. Like nothing she was doing was working, but everything was wide winging shots. And that's what fighters start doing when they try to keep it basic, and then you jump on them and put pressure on them, and they're not used to that pressure. They just start winging shit. And I don't know, man. Just seeing when Terri Harper got punched by Alicia Baumgartner, how she just turned around and quit, and the ref stopped the fight. Like, it's like, you know, what's gonna happen now when you're getting hit, you know, like solid, and you realize, damn, okay, this shit hurts. I can't keep her off. I feel like it's going to be one of those type of fights. Unless Terri Harper adds something to her game that we haven't seen her do. You know, and the best thing for her to do is keep it base. Everything is speed and timing. Her thinking, I'm going to use my speed and my timing to like pop, pop, pop. You know, the jab is going to be the most important punch for her. The jab straight is going to be the most important combination for her. But she's going to have to feint, move, you know, at some point, move, distance, angle, pop, throw a hook, you know. She got to, you know, touch it to the body. She's going to have to keep it like that. But I just don't think that she has enough to keep her off. And that's one of the reasons why, too, I said, the more you fight and the better competition, there's people that will nullify things that you're doing, and you have to start to play chess now. You have to resort to something else. Not just your corner man telling you what to do, but you, as a fighter who practice and train every day, you should know this. You know, back in the day, fighters trainers would tell you, just touch something, hit something, touch him to the shoulder, touch him in the arm, just touch him. Gotta hit something. Let your hands go. Don't even aim for the face, just hit something, right? They will tell you things like that. A lot of times to fighters, that shit was confusing outside of what am I trying to hit? Because I'm just throwing, you're hitting arms, you're hitting the show, right? But if the fighter is slippery and moving, right? To those fighters that they're telling that to is usually because they're fighting someone that's slick that they can't catch, right? But one of the things that they taught you is when you're jabbing, work off the jab, right? Most fighters kept their chins tucked. I learned to do that, but I also would like throw and keep my head off that center line. Like I would do shit, and I'm like, okay, I know he's watching me, right? So now I'm gonna throw it, but I'm gonna slip to the other side. But I would always keep my guard hand ready, so when I pop that shit, pop. Like sometimes I pop in, I'm a southpaw, so I would throw it and step to the right. Like, pow, like, you know what I'm saying? I would boom, and I would do this little duck move where I would just take like a half step back. I know that's gonna make him come forward. And pow, right through the middle, bam, like and they always run into some shit, but it was always working and moving and not being complacent. So conditioning will allow all of that, because I don't give a fuck how much skills you have. If your conditioning is fucked up, James Toney, you could have skills, but if you get tired, you can't land that shit. And once your punches get to the point where your opponent can telegraph what you're doing, you're getting tired, but that person is still fresh, you got problems. And I don't know what type of conditioning Terri Harper has right now, if she's able to just, like do the rounds with no problem. But if that be the case, I see Dubois putting the pressure on her even more. And after this fight, the thing is this. She's already said she wants Baumgartner next. There's no reason for that fight to not happen. We already know that Baumgartner has a meatball coming up. And it's like I said, Baumgartner can fight, but when you're okay with taking the easier route, when you're okay with letting someone plan your career to just take these meatball fights and try to become the household word, you start to lose some courage. You don't realize it as a fighter till you get in there with somebody that's been used to fighting these tough ass fights. You understand what I'm saying? And then you come back and it's like, damn, what the fuck happened? Like, this motherfucker got better? Or, yeah, they got sharper. And you're fighting meatballs. And although you're in the gym training all the time, you kind of was wanting an easy fight. It's like, let's say today, you feel like you don't want to go to work tomorrow. Like, man, I hope something happens. They say it's supposed to snow. I hope it snows. Man, I don't want to go. I just want to stay home and relax. And imagine, right? And you're like, damn, have a 3-day weekend or something, right? And imagine somebody going, oh, nah, y'all ain't going to work it tomorrow. Nah, they going to close the roads because they talking about 20 inches. Nah, they definitely calling out. And you like, man, I hope so. And the more you hope, then all of a sudden, the call you need looking for, you don't get it, and you got to go to work. And now that feeling of trying to, right? That's what that's like as a fighter. That is what that shit is like. Because you have been looking for, hey, look, we're going to take this opponent, we're going to fight that opponent. We're trying to, okay, and right here, look at this. Big money, easy money right here. Easy. Don't worry about that. Right here. This is what happens. Don't get it twisted. This is what happens. Take this, we take that. Yeah, and let's say you take those fights, you do those steps, and you actually win. But one day, you're going to have to fight that motherfucker. And that's why they hope. Haven't you noticed nowadays, fighters they're happy, they celebrate when they see an opponent, a rival, lose. What you celebrating for? You should be like, damn, man, come on. You done screwed the money up, right? Nah, they're happy. I'm winning. He lost, she lost. And you're happy about that? Yeah, they are. So when you have that step-up fight, the difference between you losing is that person could just be hungrier than you and wanted that fight more than you did. Which means they was willing to go through the fire when you really wasn't. But yeah, we'll see what happens. That's a fight I don't mind watching. You know, I will check it out and see what happens. I do think that uh, Caroline Dubois would win by way of destruction. I think that she's really going to put it on Terri Harper, man. And I like Terri Harper as a fighter too, but man, I just don't see anything in her style, in her ability. I don't see any tools that she have that she's going to be able to deal with Caroline. Let's say even if she put up a fight for a little bit, let's say the more she fights, and that's the thing, the more of a fight she put up without keeping it basic, especially, the more she risks getting hurt. And the thing about her keeping it basic, see, the thing with Terri Harper, she's not a big puncher either, man. She can put punches. If she can put punches together on you, she can, of course, catch you in with volume. But Caroline can hurt her with just one punch, just one, and it doesn't matter right hand or left hand. She can hurt her with just one, and unless Caroline just have a bad night, she just off or something or whatever, I just don't see how Terri Harper's going to win this fight. But I guess we'll see. That's all I got for you guys now. Catch you guys on the next video.